cut out as many EU representatives in this top four as possible. It seems like, because on winner side it's Zamba Raru, on losers semis is Shuton, and our next set is going to be Susu and T for that final spot.
Dude, I loved that opener from Susu, by the way. Placed the TNT and immediately knew what T was going to do and just jumped over the laser, completely unbothered, just hard call out. And now that immediately says to T, oh no, this guy knows the matchup. I gotta
Yeah.
do something.
I mean, they've played before in this very bracket. Winners quarterfinals, 3-2 set count, or was it top? Let me check bracket real quick. But it was in the winner side top 32. Susu, yeah, it was the round of
Took it
32.
3-2 over. Oh no, that was shoot time. 3-2 over T.
Yeah,
Man, a lot of game fives for Susu.
he's locked in on this Steve, trying to make it go, trying to make the final plays in order to keep up here. Love that up air for T to close down the block.
We're going to be seeing a lot of interesting RPS, I think, off stage, because T has a lot of tools with this character to stall out, to get a lot of distance on the recovery, but can be exploitable. So we're going to see Susu trying to set up the chicanery in the corner so that height isn't the factor. Instead, it's those callouts, those big punishes of where you are, not so much when.
We almost saw T lose his stock at 0, by the way, with a down throw, run under pivot up tilt. Yeah, that was almost a nil ladder into you're gone. However, not quite there at 94%, and these electrics are doing work at just trampling over shield to make it so that Steve can't stay in the same position. Susu looking for the back air, but T found that electric.
A couple of drops, though, from T. That's twice now that he could have potentially had something. And another drop. Susu landing on the block, getting away with it. But the number of times that T just won neutral in that set of interactions completely turned around what could have been a detrimental experience.
Yeah, 1,000%, right? Like, we saw weird block shenanigans, angles that weren't expected. Steve being Steve with like his own weird physics as well. But at the end of the day, T found the opening and is still holding on to this stock. Kazuya quite the heavyweight, even against that Steve up throw. Not going to be able to survive the gold back air, but hey,
yeah, really taking advantage of the frame data of those gold tools as well to be able to throw out those F smashes completely unfazed by whether you have end lag or not. T trying to make something out of it, but wasn't able to. And now 78%. The early damage is in Susu's favor. That is a strength of the character, but T keeps bringing it back with openings like this. The tech chase is unsuccessful, but look at that. Evened it up in a flash.
And I don't know if it's Susu choosing to engage a little bit more, or T just doing an amazing job at pressing that mid-range, getting caught by back there. But it feels like Susu has just not been mining as much as you expect for this matchup. Surviving on the blocks, but you're in a really tough spot here. Yeah, you don't have the room. You don't have the power to break through those iron blocks with the demon wings. So Susu in a scrambly, like kind of spaghetti-filled game with a lot of incomplete combos and wishy-washy finishes. It ends up being Susu finding any way to edgeguard Kazu.
That was a tough scenario because, as you're about to see in the replay there, trying to get as far to the left as possible to get past the block, but was going to go too low, which is why he pulled the trigger when he did, and unfortunately didn't quite have the positioning or the height to come back with an air dodge there afterwards, because you have so much end lag at the end of that up special.
Yeah. Those type of blocks, T was using like double jump up air to break the block first, and then immediate up B before any sort of like anvil or a second block could come out. Just caught in a position where minecart made it so that wasn't possible and couldn't happen. Those type of scrambly games, though, you really want to go your way as the Kazuya player, because oftentimes you don't get in those type of winning situations has Kazuya in against Steve. So many times Steve can like air camp you or hard close you out with walls or play around platforms in a way that makes finding any opener so difficult. You need to win those scrambles and you need to win those kind of messier games to keep up in a game-to-game matchup, assuming you're not just getting like electric 0 to deaths every stop, which also could just happen.
All right, game number 2. We've got the Tekken music counter pick. And now we're seeing Susu mining a lot more, taking advantage of where those platforms are to create not just a wall, but an entire house over there that really puts him in lockdown and makes it incredibly hard for T to get out, as we see almost another early kill at 110 here, really making T work for any opening. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're in the mine zone.
Yeah, that's just what I was kind of expecting from this matchup, right? Like, why ever engage with Kazuya when he can do that? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's in a weird twist of fate. It is the Steve player who is going to be. Oh, that whole interaction was wonky. Shotty gets so low on the up special, and T just whiffed. Okay, we're evening it up. Oh no, we're not actually. I forgot. We lost an entire extra stock in there. It was gone in a flash punch.
Yeah, with a 1-2-2 into electric, into imagination, because despite having the Tekken moves, this game does not function at all on Tekken combo tree. So Kazuya can just do whatever he wants sometimes.
I feel like it's a combination of like if Tekken and like Guilty Gear had a baby. That's this version of Kazuya.
Yeah,
that's what we've created.
Yeah, I think you could really see it there in the background. Like if you focus close on the clouds there, you could see the Guilty Gear counter land on that side B.
And then everything's a Gatling and cancels into everything else. It's like, all right, I guess I got hit.
It's funny when you're not on the receiving end of it.
This Kazuya character is kind of fun to watch.
He plays like Brian. I will not. If anyone in chat wants me to elaborate on that, I will. But you just have to like trust me. He plays like Brian.
I can see it. Yeah. He hits you with those counter hits. Really makes it difficult for you to take your turn. And an early 60%, giving Steve a taste of his own medicine. That TNT keeps coming out early, but nothing's happening with it.
I think it's just to get rid of some of the dirt blocks, which is normally what you do on stages where you don't mine dirt, but on small battlefield, on small battlefield, you're in a default mining loop, so you're gonna get every single type of block.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Trying to optimize what you've got in the toolbar. Speaking of optimized, T looking pretty optimized in his neutral, continuing to struggle to get the massive combos, I think just because of the spacings that he's playing at against Susu, but it really doesn't matter because look, like holy neutral wins Batman. When is it Susu's turn to get a combo started?
It's crazy how little respect T has for Susu trying to hold space. And normally you assume that, like, oh my god, like Steve has a frame 3 jab, which frame 3 jab slash nair, which can be such a problem to deal with. Oh, and blocks can be such a hassle, and gold tools to transform his frame data, and all of this stuff that makes you think, oh, I need to be careful on my approach. Fortunately, Kazuya has the Electric Wind God Fist, which says, I don't care about your checks. I don't care about you trying to counter poke me. I'm going through it, and I'm blowing you up for it, even assuming that you can play neutral on the same horizontal plane as me.
Yeah, that Electric Wind Glock Fist really just punching a hole in Steve. Like, Brobot brought a gun to a block fight. Steve's just over here like, I don't know, I got a sword. It's like, I don't know what you want out of me. Gets hit with the electric. And now we see T up in the set.
Yeah, okay. We're going over to a town and city, not trying to play on small battlefield anymore, but again, just brazen. Like, okay, I'm pressing buttons at you a lot, even. Uh,
And I suspect that T is probably banning PS2, which, by the way, based in 2025 build, it took these players long enough to start doing that, but that does mess with the resource availability that Susu has.
yeah, PS2 is. You almost always lose on PS2 in the long game against Steve because once Steve gets a full material bar of stone, engaging with him is that much harder. Wood you can deal with. Like, it's not that bad, especially since Kazuya's base damage output is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, it is. But speaking of ridiculous damage output, now it is Susu's time to do the same. But look at that. Doesn't get much off of it. Doesn't get a combo finisher. Instead, ends up dropping it early, giving T a chance to play the neutral again. And we see what happens when you let T play neutral. Oh.
Whoa, that was quick. Steve has a unique recovery route, so you're not playing the laser 50-50 after, but like still, it was, I mean, 92% is nothing to scoff at. Conversion into Gates of Hell is game winning against some characters as we find the electric back air.
Those Blossoms not going to save you. And up an entire stock. Susu on the cusp of elimination right now. Has to find the opening. There's the up tilt starter. Let's see what we can get off of this. 78% and stage advantage. T going super high. Does not want to deal with the potential of a minecart. We see Susu trying to force it out anyway. Trying to force the issue. And not able to get those gold tools until now. Staying alive a little bit longer is T.
Pressing the envelope a little too much and DIing to the center platform. I cannot believe he could put out a spot dodge there. That was by the skin of your teeth. You survive at 62%. But Steve can make games go long as you're able to take this stock. But we're running out of real estate.
90%. T needs one more electric, and that should convert. Yep, he's looking for it. Convert into the up special. Ooh! Oh, you thought it was your turn! It's never your turn! Oh my goodness. The animation of that. I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. The way he gets completely shut down in the middle of F Smash. One of the best moves in the game. Kazuya stealing away that turn, stealing away the stock, and stealing away the set. Great stuff from T to take advantage of the strength of that move.
Yeah, crazy. Like, T, at a certain point, just felt like he was running over Susu, who put him in losers to begin with. And just based off of those couple games that we watched here, Lentini, it feels like Susu was just stopped playing the matchup right. He was willfully engaging with Kazuya at all of Kazuya's points and strength, not trying to maximize any of the things that allow Steve to completely modify the game into his favor. Even in the basics, like just putting up a 3-high block wall just never really came up. Not to mention the specifics that you could do on town and city, like the air mining that we saw on small battlefield. It felt very honest.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, it was like ye old 2019 Smash with DLC characters. It was kind of fun to watch, and it's the way that T was able to navigate a challenging matchup and force, again, the win conditions, knowing all of the things, like you mentioned, how to play around Susu's strengths, and as we just saw on the replay, call out